Right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the PlebPod. I'm César, and today I'm joined by Brandon, Lee, and Matt. And our topic for this fortnight is oddly related to Fortnite, maybe. Um, we're talking about games, specifically what games we played while growing up. And with that, I would like Brandon to start off because he got not much speaking time in the previous one. So, Brandon?
Not much speaking time in the previous one. I spoke quite a lot in the previous one.
Yeah,
It was the one beforehand I didn't get much speaking time in.
Oh, yeah, you got me confused there. Fuck. Take two. Brandon?
So, well, I mean, my mum was a gamer when she grew up. She got me into video games very early.
Gamer girl.
Yes, I know. So, that's about, one, two, playing the PlayStation. I think the first PlayStation was out by then, and then PS2 was not long afterwards. I definitely remember playing the GameCube not long after it came out. One of the first games I definitely remember playing was Mario Kart Double Dash.
Oof. That's a good one.
And my mum would always let me win at that, and I think that's where I get my very sore loser attitude.
Mm-hmm.
It's from my mum letting me win Mario Kart all the damn time. Probably one of my most favourable memories from Mario Kart Double Dash, I'm going to be honest. I have no one has ever had this glitch happen, and it's very unfortunate that no one else has ever had it. On Rainbow Road, going through it, one cart got stuck against the barrier near the start. It was stuck on the corner. They couldn't move. They were stuck for all 3 laps. It was Bowser and Birdo got stuck on a corner for 3 laps. It was very amusing.
That's interesting.
And I've never been able to get anyone to recreate it or even hit that barrier the same way again.
Mm-hmm.
But it sticks in my brain because that's one of the few things I do remember about playing Mario Kart Double Dash.
Yeah, no, that sounds like an interesting experience, especially given that no one else that you know of has ever been able to replicate it. It just makes it, like, unique.
No, exactly.
Yeah, that's interesting.
The only I started playing Mario Kart. The first one was on Mario Kart DS. When you had to like meet up with your friends, or you like sort of were in school. Like every Friday, I know at my primary school, we used to bring the DSs in and have like a Mario Kart competition on DS through their I can't remember what you call it now. How DS Connect. So what was it called?
Yeah.
DS download.
Yeah,
that's
DS
it.
download.
Yeah, DS download. I used to always lag out. Still do.
See, you've just mentioned the whole DSs to school. I remember taking my DS to school and doing Pokemon battles. Or like Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum.
Ooh,
that was fun. But that's how I did lose my copy of Pokemon Diamond. I took it to school one day, and that was the last I ever saw of it.
Interesting.
Great
Interestingly,
Even when I got a Nintendo DS, I was not allowed to take it into school.
Yeah.
Because we didn't really come from like a well-off background, so if we lost that would be quite a lot of money down the drain from your parents.
Staying along with like primary schools, did everyone used to play a game called Nintendo Dogs?
I did. Yeah, Nintendogs.
Nintendogs.
I
yes.
played that quite a
My
while.
sister had it.
It was one of those games where I used to play a lot, and now to this day I've not fed them for 2 years.
No, yeah, we all have that one copy of Nintendogs where the dogs have been starving for years at this point.
It's like when you kill your Tamagotchis.
Exactly. Oh God, Tamagotchis. Oof. You've just unlocked a memory.
Apparently, I used to have one about 20 years ago, but I don't remember it.
Neat.
And then the school banned them. So
probably for good reason.
Yeah.
It was around about early 2000s. They were quite addictive.
Mm-hmm.
What was the point in Picture Chat? Like, all you did was connect and just doodle stuff, and that's it. I remember it on DS. It was called Picture Chat.
I think that literally just is the game. You just.
What's the point?
It's basically, just connecting points and making shit drawings.
Because like I remember when I first got a DSi, I was just like, oh my god, you can do rainbow drawings and then.
My very earliest memories of gaming go back to about when I was maybe 5 years old. I think when I got my Game Boy Advance, like one of those original wide ones, the purple ones.
Yeah.
I remember I got that with a copy of Metroid Fusion. And one of my fondest memories of that is when I first played through it, there's a part that's like 10 minutes into the game where you're basically introduced to the main antagonist, and the game like zooms in onto the quote-unquote face of the antagonist, and at the time I found that shit so fucking creepy that I laid down the Game Boy. I didn't touch it for 2 weeks. Only after 2 weeks did I gain the courage to start from scratch and actually play the fucking game.
See, I know what image you're talking about because you sent me it.
Yeah.
Was it earlier or was it yesterday? I think it was
I think it was yesterday. No?
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah. For a 5-year-old, that's quite a creepy image.
See, I remember when I got my first Game Boy. I got the Mario Limited Edition one when it was the Mario... oh, God.
Probably 20th anniversary?
It was the flip-up Game Boy.
Yeah, the Advance SP.
It was Mario vs. Donkey Kong. There was that one.
And for the people watching on YouTube, this is what Brandon means.
Yeah, I got one of those as a limited edition. Though, if I can find my actual... my DSi Excel, I have a limited edition Mario one. Actually, I'll find it. Oh, God. Where is it?
We're on the line of Game Boys. Did anyone used to have one of these things you used to plug into, like, there was like a USB on the top of them. I had the Game Boy Advance, but you had a USB thing you plug into the top, it was like a light, and you had to angle the light at a certain angle in order to see the screen.
Yeah.
I never owned a Game Boy.
Oh.
That accessory was from the Game Boy models previous to this one. If you're watching on YouTube, it's the if you're not watching on YouTube, it's the Game Boy Advance SP. All models previous to this one don't have a backlight on the screen. So what you would do to be able to play during the day when the sun was shining was that you got what Matt described. It was basically a thing that you plugged into the console, and they had like this wire that bent, and then you would point a light to the screen so that you would be able to see no matter where you were.
So it's like a miniature desk lamp.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it pretty much is a desk lamp, but in miniature form.
There it is.
Well, there's the case. So
Yeah.
I got scammed €40 in France for this and some extra cases.
Jesus.
Because I was a moron at
You
14.
poor fool.
I know. Well, that's my first time ever going out the country. Only time I've been out the country. And I haven't cleaned this in fucking ages. This shows how much it got used before I put it away.
Yeah.
I have got... It's a Mario edition.
Oh, that is a cool DSi.
I wanted to sell it a couple of years, but then I thought, what's the fucking point? I've got this. I might as well keep it now, and it still fucking works absolutely perfectly fine. Like, I have all the charges still for it. I have all the games for it. I can probably find another 60 billion styluses that are sitting around the house somewhere.
Yeah.
And of course, I have 2 different Pokemon version games anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So why not just also use?
Oh yeah, a 3D. Is that the 2DS?
The 2DS. 2DS is way superior over the 3DS because 3DS has hurt your eyes. 2DS is done.
Yeah.
With my DSi.
I've got a DS Lite lying around somewhere, but unfortunately it is dead.
I also
that's a
have...
shame.
It charges, but
that's
it just
cool.
doesn't switch on.
I like this.
It doesn't switch on.
Mm-hmm.
But I can. Every time I do switch it on, it clearly shows that it's. Well, the green light comes on. It charges fine, but yeah, I don't know what the issue is.
I have
with
another
it.
DS.
I probably have my own
Oh,
DS
DS Lite.
lying around. I just don't know where it is.
Play
Mine's a silver one, but pretty much lost it at the minute.
Yeah.
My DSi is covered in Club Penguin puffles. It used to be all over the screen as well.
Nice.
Because like I used to be obsessed with Club Penguin. When I was younger.
I think everyone
Really?
had their Club Penguin phase. That's a Wii.
It is a Wii. It's a Wii with GameCube memory cards in.
Yeah, no.
Because I play my GameCube games on this thing.
I mean, ignore the claws there, but down there somewhere, my Nintendo Wii is currently backed up along with the PlayStation 3. And possibly a PlayStation 1? Or a bunch of games, I don't know. Yeah, I can't fit them in that cupboard. That's why they're there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
that makes
chunky
sense.
boy, Matt.
I bought this 3 years ago refurbished. It was at the start of lockdown.
Is that
it was
PS2?
£40. Yeah, it was
That is a
£40.
I've had mine
It's a
for 20
refurbished.
years and it still bloody works.
I lost my other one.
Because
I dread to think the amount of dust sitting in that thing.
back then, consoles were built like fucking bricks.
But like, those are on YouTube. I want to show you a comparison.
Right.
To this and
Is it
the
PS2?
bloody PS3.
And that's the PS3. The size difference, you think
This
the
is the
PS2 is a
Slim.
chunky boy until you see how big a PS3 is. You realise just how much hardware they chucked in that thing.
Right, gentlemen.
Meanwhile, for those who have never seen a PS5, that is fucking huge.
No.
All right.
That
for those
doesn't
who-
exist.
No, it is huge.
That doesn't
For
exist.
those audio listeners, Lee has just picked up the PS5, held it to the camera, and said, "Look at the size of this."
Yeah. Now, gentlemen, I'm about to present to you a fossil, and
Dun dun dun.
for those of you
Epic Halls?
for those of you listening
Oh
on
my
an audio
God.
platform,
Is that an N64?
this is an authentic Nintendo 64. And
I saw one at a car boot the other month. I
Sell
really
it,
should've
you'll
bought
get
it.
some money.
it's not gonna get me any money because I am never gonna sell this. This is in mint condition.
Yeah, so I'm saying you will get a lot of money for if you sell it pristine condition.
Not really.
Depends on
You'll-
serial numbers.
You'll be lucky to get more than 70 for an N64 nowadays. The games are worth more than the console.
Fair point, and I do have mint condition cartridges as well.
But do you have a mint condition Japanese edition of Super Mario 64?
I wish I did.
Because you would be a millionaire.
I would be a very rich man. Now, the story behind this N64 is that, and why I have it, of course, given that I was born 2 years after. Was it 2 years? Was the
1996.
Yeah, okay. So, how the fuck do I have a Nintendo 64 when I was born 2 years after it came out?
Because you're sad.
Yes. So basically, one of my brothers-in-law had it lying around at his place, and I think I was 9 or 10. For summer break, he brought it over. He told me about how he played all of the games that he eventually gave me when he was about my age. So I decided to give it a try, and it was revolutionary to see some of my favorite characters in 3D at the time, like Mario. Eventually, this fucking brick just kept staying at my house, mostly because of my sister convincing him to let it stay at my house so I could play. And eventually, he just up and said, "Look, you want it, it's yours. As long as you have enough rubies." Sorry, had to throw in the Zelda reference. So yeah, since then, I've kept it pretty safe. Not in a box, but in a sealed bag. Occasionally, I do bust it out to play with it because I love this fucking thing, but it is a fucking fantastic bit of gaming history, is what I'll tell you.
See, I know my mum was very disappointed not being able to keep her like N64.
Mm-hmm.
So instead, when the Wii came out and all the ports for like the old games came through on the Wii, we got a load of them.
Yeah.
I know for a fact the two main ones that stick in my head is Super Mario 64 and Mario Kart 64. They were the two I played almost religiously on the Wii. And I've got another story for Super Mario 64. My mum was playing it on Pancake Day, I believe it was 2007,
Right.
2008. I can't remember which Pancake Day it was now. It was one of the Pancake Days, and I remember her playing it. I went over to the hob. I asked if the hob was hot, and before I got an answer, I went straight went onto the hob, hand straight on it, and burnt my hand.
Wow.
And that sticks to your head when I remember exactly that moment. And now I don't let anyone go near a hob after it's being used.
Probably with good reason.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what happens.
I want you to. So going back to the Wii, sorry, it reminded me of a story just whilst I remember. When did it? I think it was like the month after it came out. I remember my mother was like, "Always wear the strap. Be careful. Don't chuck the remote or anything. Always wear the strap." So this was on Wii Sports. We're playing bowling, and then my mother first uses the Wii, and what she do? Chucks it, and the light, but he shatters one of the lights, doesn't she? On her first attempt. Very much she tells us to be careful with it.
That's a classic.
She goes, boom.
Bonk.
Boom, boom.
Yeah,
The remote was fine.
Bearing in mind the original straps that didn't have that clip, which they eventually put on the newer ones.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of uproar at the time of that.
Straps are too big for the kids.
Speaking of Nintendo Wii, I think I got mine a couple of years after it first came out. Pretty much a lot of Wii Sports on there. Played a lot of Mario Kart Wii. Still do that occasionally. Interestingly, the Wii is one of the easiest consoles to homebrew ever.
Yeah.
You can literally do it in 5 minutes. It's so easy.
Well, see you later, Lee. It's been nice knowing you. The police are going to be at your door in about 5 minutes. Thank you for owning up to that.
The Plebels do not condone piracy. Just a quick disclaimer.
True, but the modern scene on the Nintendo Wii does still go.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, go look further on YouTube or the internet for that. The memories I kind of have on the Wii is just like is quite a lot on Wii Sports, quite a lot on Mario Kart. I'm not going to discuss the Miis that I have buried in my Mii channel because some of them.
I know exactly which ones you're talking about because I'm
Some
pretty
of them
sure I downloaded the exact same ones.
No, I remember me and a mate did create a few questionable ones. I'm not going to discuss any further on that.
Probably best not
that
to.
reminded me. I was playing Wii Fit Plus, and you're just jogging along, and then just jogging by you is Voldemort, and you're just like, alright.
Wow.
There's Voldemort, and then there's Michael Jackson. I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah.
He's smiling and everything. Yeah. I'm like, okay.
and every time you try and put a German man with a mustache on Mario Kart, it literally banned it from online.
Yeah, it does.
It still does it.
Personally, I never owned a Wii, but the same brother-in-law I have who gave me my Nintendo 64, like 2 or 3 years after he gave me the N64, he bought a Wii for himself, and back when I was around 13 to 14, up until I was like 17, I used to spend a lot of time with him and my sister at his place, and we would just have a blast playing Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, a lot of other multiplayer games for the Wii.
Sorry.
What?
Have you done?
What have I done?
I'm just being a child.
God damn it.
You said Smash Brothers and I see Matt smirk.
Fuck you, Matt.
Yeah, please don't.
Hey, Matt, want to smash?
No. That's too fair. 1v1, go on.
Right, since we're all motorsport fans here, did anyone buy F1 2009 for the Wii?
No.
God.
I wasn't into F1 until 2016, so no.
I wasn't into F1 until 2019, so...
I think the first F1 game was on like the PS1.
Well, yeah, but the first one from Codemasters was put on the Wii, and when you look back at it, it is so tragic.
Yeah. Lee, you mentioned some controversy regarding the first models of the Wii mode, where the straps didn't have the clamp.
Yep.
If you want to talk about controller controversy, let me present to you the fucking monstrosity, and Pepper, please put an image on screen when editing. Let me present to you the monstrosity that is the Nintendo 64 controller. Now, you know the control stick right here? This is fucking plastic. There's no rubber. There's nothing to protect you from burning yourself if you rub it too hard. Now,
So
Okay.
basically, always wear
I've
protection.
heard enough.
Brandon, behave. Now, when the first Mario Party came out for the Nintendo
It's like the
64,
center as well.
Jesus Christ. Right.
It's like in the center where the belly button is.
Right, so
Moving on.
when the first Mario Party game came out for the Nintendo 64, there was a mini game in that game where you had to spin the control stick as fast as possible to win. And Nintendo, I'm not sure if this is true. Pepper can fact check it. I think Nintendo was actually sued at one point because a lot of kids burned their hands, because what they would do is they would grab the controller like this, put the palms of their hands on the control stick, and then just and they would get like
Do it lower.
second degree burns from this, because this is hard plastic.
Can you do that lower?
No. I can't. I want this to be monetized, damn it. Wow. We're all fucking we're all adult-sized kids.
Well, see, let's go to the next console forwards.
What?
Right, Brandon is now off screen.
He tells us.
I am
He's
back.
now back on screen. Ooh, no,
The
don't
GameCube controller.
don't get me started on that.
That looks even worse.
The hands.
Worse than
are
this.
It's not worse. Granted, the handles are a lot thinner, but you're not really gonna hold the handles now, are you? You're gonna hold it like more like
Just
that.
hold the layout again.
What?
There's a green button and there's like two
Yeah.
grey buttons. That layout makes no sense to me.
The layout is actually really good. I prefer the layout of this controller over most other ones.
I'll be
Because,
honest.
Okay, here's a... I mean, Sony haven't really changed the PlayStation controllers in absolutely ages.
No, you gotta remember, PlayStation 1, they changed it from the,
Well, yes, I have
arrows
one of them
to
somewhere.
the sticks.
Yeah, I have one of them somewhere, but I mean, this has virtually remained the same since the first DualShock.
I think so, yeah.
All they've really added is just this touchpad.
Mm-hmm.
Can't really see XM. You can't really see what is the XMB button or home button or whatever it's called now.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace.
That
the
one
select
is options.
Okay.
That is the share button. That pretty much used to be a select button.
Yeah.
Going
That
along
used to be a
with
start
like
button.
PlayStation now, like what was people's sort of like first game they literally just played a lot, just like in general, like
Like for
me,
the most amount of time.
like the most amount of
One.
time. There was two games really. It's really hard to pick the both. There was Sonic Heroes, and there was Burnout. I'd say it's Burnout 3 I played the most.
See, we had Sonic Heroes on the GameCube,
Go on.
so that's where I get more of my memories of that from. And Sonic Adventure 2 was also on the GameCube. So they're the two where I didn't really get into PlayStation until the PS3 came out, when I started playing Ratchet and Clank. That was really a game
You
I-
missed one
I spent
hell of an era.
a lot. PlayStation 2 did play, but that was after the PlayStation 3 came out. Played a lot more the PS2 after the PS3 came out, because we played... What was it? Kept nicking my parents' copy of GTA until I was like 9. Just kept
Mate,
nicking
I had
it.
that when I was like 5.
Right, okay, we're gonna call.
I've had
911.
Vice City for like
Hello,
20
yes.
years.
Lee played game when 5. Send, please. Thank you.
I remember my mother went into Woolworths and just came out with Grand Theft Auto Vice City like not long before Christmas, and me and my uncle, he was like 7 years older than me. Don't ask about that gap.
Right.
He
I'm
was
asking.
living with us. He was living with us. Right. I'm not delving into that. What I'm trying to say is, he was living with us at the time, so I think she bought it so we could both play it. But I was like 5, turning 6 later that month, so I was basically playing Vice City from when I was like 5, 6 year old.
Yeah.
But I've known that game for nearly 20 years. I've played PlayStation for about a couple of years prior to that, because I remember playing Gran Turismo around about the time my sister was born, like on the original PS1. So
Yeah.
definitely had a PlayStation experience for like a long time.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much my entire time growing up, I played basically just Nintendo, because that was the only type of game and console that I showed interest in. The only odd time I would play PlayStation or Xbox was if I was going to a friend's house. But most of my close friends, even to this day, mostly play Nintendo as well, so I still don't have much exposure to PlayStation or Xbox.
I never played Xbox.
There you go.
Never played it.
You mean shitbox, yeah?
Shitbox, but best kind of controller. Let me tell you that much.
Yeah, but we know where that controller originated from, really. We know the GameCube was really the superior. That's where it all started.
I mean,
I
say more?
There used to be that dedicated friend group who like the one were PlayStation,
There you go.
one were Xbox, and you used to go over to your friend's house and you do Xbox, and you used to always obsess over Halo.
Halo Reach, creating a map, and then playing on it. That was always what happened.
Yep.
Never played
I
Halo.
used to always drive the cars and somehow break the game.
Drive the cars off the map, destroy the car, but still somehow be alive at the very bottom of the map.
Yep.
Matt, you mentioned games that we played a lot growing up.
Need for Speed. Sorry, that was wrong.
Yes, Need for Speed. Need for Speed
Sorry.
Underground, Need for Speed Most Wanted, Need for Speed Carbon. They're the main three which I remember playing a lot of. I remember always playing Need for Speed Most Wanted and always getting the Lexus as the first car. Almost always. 9 out of 10 times it'd be the Lexus would be the one I'd choose. Just because I like the logo.
Yeah.
Well,
for
because you
me,
like the L.
Yes.
For me, the games I played the most growing up were probably Mario 64, both the original and the DS versions. Any Metroid game, really. Or Pokemon Platinum. So, any version of Mario 64, any Metroid game, or Pokemon Platinum. If I wasn't playing one of these, I was sick. And dying.
I grew up on a lot of Nintendo, and a lot of my favourite games are still from the Nintendo era. I think definitely my top 3 are still largely nostalgia based, but I still like playing them even now. My top 3 games, pretty much, of near all time. Unfortunately, right, so I'm very biased to Nintendo. I'll go for my top 5. Matt, if you would stop opening your desktop and be annoying, that'd be great. Thank you very much. So, top 5. So, 5th place would probably go. We'll go Sonic Heroes.
Sorry. Yeah. There you go.
Sonic Heroes, and then we'll go Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Sonic Adventure 2, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and then my all-time favourite game is pretty self-explanatory because it's not just a Nintendo exclusive, not just a Nintendo game, full stop. It wasn't on Nintendo for fucking years. Elder Scrolls V Skyrim.
Oh, for fuck. Go. Leave. Out.
Hey, I have Breath of the Wild number 2, and I've got the tattoo for the logo.
One day I'm gonna have the Metroid logo tattooed right here. Okay.
Of course, copycat.
Fuck you. Right.
I was gonna say my game, like top all-time games are probably gonna be a lot different.
Go on.
We haven't really talked much about PC gaming, to be honest. But
True.
Gee,
I
wonder what your number one would be.
Yeah, you're gonna find out. I was gonna say, I've already mentioned like Grand Theft Auto, Vice City. I still maintain that is the best Grand Theft Auto I've ever played. It might not be the most. It might not be the largest game. It might not have the biggest map, but it just has the simplicity.
You can't swim.
It just has the simplicity.
Yeah.
The simplicity
It was built
not
in a
swimming.
different. It was built in a different time for a different time. Gran Turismo 3, I think.
Oh, Gran Turismo.
Yeah, that to me, I never really played them before. I didn't really have it till I bought a pre-owned copy about 5 years ago, and even then the disc didn't really work. So that's why I picked number 3 over number 4.
I still think 5...
number 4 is probably going to be better.
I think 5 is my favourite Gran Turismo overall.
On the PS3, I would agree.
Yeah.
On PC, and I'm just going to say it's me, not number 1 single game, but all-time series. It's going to be the Age of Empires series.
Oh yeah.
And any spin-offs that came after that.
That is really surprising. My God, I wouldn't have expected that from you. You know that.
I've played them virtually since I was 3 or 4 year old.
Mm-hmm.
Bearing in mind, I did know most of the cheat codes,
Yeah.
so I didn't really play it seriously.
Yeah. Used to have a book of cheat codes.
Yeah.
There's still one in my
Yeah.
wardrobe somewhere. It's literally like a book, and you saw all the cheat codes.
You mean-
So on Age of Empires 2, you would type in, how do you turn this on? And you would get a Shelby Cobra. So you just spam that, and you get a shitload of them going around the map, just destroying everything.
Yeah. Right. My top 5 favorite games. I think Brandon won't at all be surprised by number 1.
Metroid, Smash,
No.
Metroid.
No, like I'm
Smash.
only gonna count one Metroid game, which is my number 1 favorite game of all time. It's Metroid Fusion. It's the game that got me into the series, which is to this day my favorite Nintendo series of games. And it's probably still the nostalgia factor that's keeping it at number 1, because I've recently played through Metroid Dread, and Jesus Christ, what a fucking perfect Metroid game, but I digress. But now that I've said my number 1 favorite game of all time, my number 5 is a very controversial one, given that I don't play it as often as I used to. It's Rocket League. And I know Brandon wants to put me in right.
I don't know you. Who are you?
Right.
What have you done?
Right, no, but there's a reason why Rocket League is in my top 5 favorite games. It's because Rocket League was the first game that I played on my very own gaming computer. Like, this computer that I'm recording this on is my first computer that I bought with my money.
Same.
So, having a game that I can still enjoy as long as I'm not playing competitively, that was the first game I played on this, has a lot of meaning to me.
Do you know what's really bad about the first game that I played on this computer when I first bought it was?
Oh god, surprise me.
Sonic Adventure 2.
Fucking mint.
The first game I bought and played was Sonic Adventure 2. And then it was Football
Nice.
Manager 2021.
Massive.
I think when I built this one about 2 or 3 years ago now, it was either Motorsport Manager or Football Manager 19's the first one I downloaded and installed on it.
Mm-hmm.
Go on, Matt. Tell us your story about your laptop.
Well, can't remember if the first game I installed was Minecraft or SCP
Minecraft.
Secret Laboratory.
God, you're so original with Minecraft. That's like 9 out of 10 kids' first game. To
Well,
download.
it was because I wanted to use Tekkit. It was like Tekkit Minecraft.
We all
You see
had
all the
the
factories
Tekkit
and
phase.
stuff.
Yeah.
So I still love doing sort of stuff like that, but it's like really old Minecraft. It's like 1.8 or something, isn't it? It
Again,
runs on-
it's the nostalgia factor. I think of Tekkit especially.
Mm-hmm.
With
Yeah.
especially with the series that came out on YouTube at the time when it was like
Jaffa Factory.
Exactly, the Oxcast definitely launched Tekkit way further than it ever should have been.
Not Tekkit related, but did any of you watch Markiplier's Drunk Minecraft series?
No.
God.
Our
So-
names aren't Pepper and Shane.
So basically, it was a series that he did with two of his mates, where they would just drink and play Minecraft while drunk. It was fucking hilarious. And it's one of the things that got me into Minecraft, actually, because I had never been interested in it until then.
I first played Minecraft when it was a free demo on the website.
What?
Oh, yeah, like it was
I played
Minecraft
it
Classic
when-
and
I
Steve
played
used
it
to
when
run
it
around
was-
with arms everywhere.
when it was that old. That's when I first played it.
It was called Minecraft Classic, wasn't it? And like the
Yeah, no, it was
characters.
still in its Alpha Zero build.
Jesus Christ.
It was still the flat plane of blocks. That's when I first played Minecraft.
First time I played Minecraft myself was in year 9, I think, the year before I went to high school. I still had my shitty school laptop at the time, which couldn't run base Minecraft. So I basically had to install Optifine.
Do you remember when Minecraft was a game where you had to actually get a gaming computer to play?
Yep,
God,
I remember the time.
That is such a while ago now.
Yeah.
It
Now
is.
every
It
computer
is.
you make can play Minecraft,
Play Minecraft.
almost
I
perfectly
remember-
fine.
What was its
remember,
original
like-
specs of freaking Pentium?
Yes.
I think
remember
it was a
my,
freaking Pentium, yeah.
On my first laptop, when I first ran Minecraft, it was running at 8 frames per second.
The only way I could play Minecraft on my old laptop was by playing Skyblock on minimal render settings because there was
Oof.
no blocks anywhere to render.
Yeah.
It was nothing, so you could play it properly. That was it.
I had to play it with minimum settings with like no more than 3 chunks loading distance.
Yeah, it was when you had like a computer that suffered. Oh god.
Yeah.
He's like, oh god!
You're choking
Yeah.
me out playing
I-
Minecraft!
I mean,
Stop!
I've experienced that, but not on Minecraft.
You still do.
What game was it then?
Many
Okay. I'll
games.
I'll take
Okay.
your word for it.
I used to have this I can name its actual specs. I think it's like 1.6 gigahertz Celeron, 1 core, 512 megabytes of RAM, shitbox Windows Vista.
Oof. That's pretty close to what my
forgot about
shitty
this
school
stuff.
laptop was.
Now, games that released a few years prior hardly ever ran, and I have no idea how they ran.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna take an example. Age of Empires 3. When it originally came out, I think its original video memory or something was 256 megabytes, or its RAM was 256 megabytes. On whatever its default settings were on that PC, I remember it ran like I don't know what the frames were, but there was like one mission where the clock was meant to be 15 minutes. It definitely wasn't 15 minutes. It was like half an hour. It's
Nice.
running so fucking slow.
Nice. I respect it.
Now this, I know we've already mentioned Sonic, but I really want to ask you all a question. Out of all the Sonic games that have come out, which one is your favourite one?
Sonic Adventure 2.
César?
I'm not
and then
gonna
Sonic
comment.
Heroes.
I haven't really played
In
many of them.
In before my answer is the more controversial one, Sonic Rush.
Is that the one on DS?
It is. It's the
There was
first one
Sonic
on
Rush
DS.
and then Sonic Rush Adventure.
Yeah.
I thought Sonic Rush Adventure was a decent one, to be fair, on DS. But,
Has anyone experienced the Sega Mega Drive?
Not the Mega Drive,
Sega Mega
but the
Drive.
Saturn.
That's when I played Sonic 2 at my grandmother's.
I used to have a Mega Drive until one of my uncles took it away. But I do distinctly remember one game was Sonic. But it had like an expansion cartridge you could plug in, and you could then play as Knuckles or
Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Yeah, it might be that one. I have no idea what the game was, but I remember there was an expansion cartridge that you could put in. And we sometimes even when I'd just come back from school, like this was early 2000s, we would play it. But then again, someone took away the bloody Mega Drive and all the games. So I've never seen that ever since.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably broke or someone sold it.
Probably. I had a Sega Saturn, and I remember I had Sonic 3D Blast on that. I would have a hell of a time with the special stages because they were both fucking cool and fucking horrendous. I had to repeat them a lot to get the fucking emeralds.
Special stages on Sonic 3D Blast were definitely some of the coolest special stages they've ever made.
Yeah, have to agree. I had another game that I think I never went past the first level, but I still had a fun time with it because I was just a stupid kid. It was a Jurassic Park game. Like, I never knew where I was supposed to go or what I was supposed to do. All I know is that anytime I repeated that same level, I got to eat dinosaurs as another bigger dinosaur, so it was fun. Right. Thoughts on the Mario versus Sonic war from years ago?
I thought you were about to go into thoughts about the Mario and Sonic Olympic Games.
Olympic Games.
Well, so was that basically Nintendo versus Sega?
Yeah, essentially.
Well, it's sort of Nintendo versus Nintendo if you really think about it.
At this point, yeah.
Sonic was still heavily on every sort of Nintendo device. Granted, it was on the Sega Dreamcast, and then it was onto the GameCube, and the Dreamcast ports were always less buggier than the GameCube side.
Yeah,
all of that jazz. And obviously, when it got onto the PlayStation, Sonic started going further. The whole war between Mario and Sonic has never been really a war because the way franchises have never gone at arms against each other. I've never seen them ever go really at arms. They've never gone to compete against each other. You go to Mario for the party games, and the racing games. You go to Sonic for the you go to Sonic for everything else.
Yeah.
But you'd always get the sort of you'd always get people who play both because both games, series always had different things to appease to you. Like for example, Sonic Heroes definitely when Sonic went through that whole phase of 3D. More open world games than expected.
Mm-hmm.
From the time in the levels, you got more variety than just 2D side scroller. When they did that, Sonic was at its peak.
Absolutely.
100% it was at its peak up until after 06. Sonic Unleashed, I'd say, managed to still get something back. It was after Sonic Unleashed. Sonic 06 took the hit, but Sonic Unleashed managed to gather something back. It was after Sonic Unleashed that's when it started tanking back down and Mario started taking itself back up. Mario had obviously a bit of it grew massively thanks to its DS release of New Super Mario Bros.
Mm-hmm.
And then it continued on with the Wii.
Mario Galaxy.
Obviously, Mario Galaxy skyrocketed it back up against Sonic.
Yep. Absolutely.
Mario went up, Sonic went down. Sonic tried to save itself with Sonic All-Star Team Racing. It didn't save itself because it wasn't a good Mario Kart clone. And then everything just sort of fell apart for Sonic for a while. It kind of stagnated. But you had that loyal base which always went back to the early thousands, late thousands Sonic genre. And that's where it all sat. That's where Sonic was able to stay. Because everyone had that memory of all those Sonic games beforehand and refused to let that go.
Yeah.
And obviously with the new Sonic Frontiers game coming out, literally hoping now that it goes back to that sort of open world 3D Sonic game that we've all been begging for the past 13 odd years.
Yeah.
And what's also helped it is now there's the latest movies now for Sonic as well. That's really
True.
back onto now.
It's much
Mario-
easier.
We've got I was going to say the Mario movie coming out as well, isn't there?
Yep.
Yeah,
I
with
think
Chris
that's going to
Pratt.
be tricky competition, really. I think with the way the Sonic films have come out, really, a lot of people were expecting it not to be that great, but they've actually been quite good.
I think when Mario and Sonic really got separated in terms of popularity was in that 1 year gap between Sonic the Hedgehog from 2006 and Mario Galaxy, because those games came out with a 1 year difference. Sonic 06 came out in 2006 and Mario Galaxy came out in late 2007. So while it took some time for Mario's popularity to skyrocket compared to Sonic, once Mario Galaxy came out, it was over. Because unlike Sonic 06, Mario Galaxy was actually a fantastic game, still is to this day.
It was a fantastic game. And obviously, I think as well, we're forgetting a very crucial game between Mario 64 and Mario Galaxy.
Mario
in
Sunshine.
Mario Sunshine. That game, especially recently, over the past 10 or so years, skyrocketed purely because of the speedrunning community. It's like the Mario Kart has pretty much held Mario to such a high standard of everything else that everything tries to copy Mario Kart now. Everything. And no one can hit that popularity level because Mario Kart did such a good job at the time that it's just made it same as Mario Party. It is revolutionized its own genre.
Exactly.
in
pretty
racing,
much.
in party games, but no one else can be held to that standard. Obviously, every other genre's tried. Crash Bandicoot's tried. Sonic's tried.
Diddy
Nickelodeon
Kong.
have even tried.
Diddy Kong.
Diddy Kong.
What was it? Crash Team Nitro or something?
Yep.
Yeah, close to
Everything.
that.
Everything has tried to latch on to that Mario Kart genre.
How can we forget the Crash Bandicoot series?
Because Crash
And
Bandicoot.
Spyro.
Crash Bandicoot
Spyro.
crashed because everyone forgot about Crash Bandicoot because Sonic and Mario were having such a fist fight slugger against each other.
Pretty much.
But you got Crash had a good game on Wii. Crash Titans.
I like the original trilogy. It's quite good.
Yeah, the original 3 games were so iconic.
Yeah.
The only one I really owned at the time was the second one, but when they remade them, I actually bought them.
There's a remake for the Switch as well.
It's just reminding me, I don't know, for some reason when you're going on about like games and all that stuff, there was this game on PS2 called Disney Skate, and you used to like skate around. Like there was one for Toy Story, there was one for Lion King.
I do remember playing that game. Now you've mentioned it. I remember owning that game.
And I remember the soundtrack to it.
It's not a Super Kingdom Hearts series, is it?
No. Kingdom Hearts had such a big gap though between their games. I don't know how people were still religious on it for that long.
I don't know. Right. Gentlemen, what was or is the most buggy game you have ever played? Like the most buggy, like the one that has either code, geometry, or graphics held together by duct tape.
Need for Speed Underground on the PS3.
1 or 2?
Not Undercover, sorry. Need for Speed
Undercover.
Undercover.
Okay.
On the PS3.
Care to explain?
Basically, you could be driving along and trying to chase down a driver, and all of a sudden he'll just shoot off into the distance. And just completely, sometimes glitch under the map. That's happened many times.
That's interesting. Not gonna lie.
And, sometimes you'll be driving along and the AI car will just spawn in front of you.
Oh, that's Hero Truck.
And that as well.
I mean, I want to exclude the F1 series, but
Oh,
I mean, we have had disasters like F1 2015, where
and 2021.
onwards, where the games are so fucking broken.
Mm-hmm.
But F1 2009 is the first one I really remember, because you can just get engine failures at random without any warning.
Mm-hmm. That's unique.
True. and most of the failures just like get on track. You would expect you could try and fix them. No. there's like this like one of them is just like this random. It's not even a puncture. It's like a suspension thing.
Mm-hmm.
You think you can come in the pits and repair damage? No.
No, you can't.
I don't even know what it is.
That's what?
It's not a puncture. It's like suspension damage you just pick up randomly.
Wow.
I can't explain it, but it affects the handling.
Yeah.
I mean,
So it's not the driver.
it's definitely the game.
Wow.
Not to mention.
It's honestly the amount of failures you get on it is so it's more than you get on F1 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, you do get car failures in games, but every time I was driving, say, Melbourne or whatever, the amount of times the engine blew up after about 20 laps was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
It was every bloody race. It blew up.
Nice. Right. Brandon?
And then you see smoke trails going around.
Okay.
Babe.
Brandon?
I've got 2 games, I'll be honest.
Is one of them Sonic 06?
Yes.
Of course.
Right.
Right.
But we all know what Sonic 06 is. To be fair, the other one's pretty self-explanatory as well. Skyrim.
Is Skyrim
Yeah.
that buggy?
Skyrim is ludicrously buggy. It's so buggy that Todd Howard recognized it, and when they made the special edition, they left almost all the bugs from the original game in.
What?
Because it gave it such a character defining it was Skyrim was Skyrim because of how buggy it was.
Right.
I'm sorry to butt in there. It reminds me of that guy who did GTA 4. They left the swing glitch in as well.
Yeah, exactly. But they left it in because when you've got bugs which define a game so much, what's the point of removing them when you remaster it?
Fair point.
It's like what the Bethesda studios. They've got that plant which is through the wall as art in there because that's what happens in the Bethesda games.
Exactly.
So yeah,
I've seen bugs like similar to that in the Assassin's Creed games.
Oof.
Where there's just like the visuals. That you're just like you're walking through like a random tree.
Yeah. The most buggy game I've ever played, and gentlemen, I do not say this lightheartedly, is in fact a Metroid game. I present to you Metroid Prime 1 for the Nintendo GameCube. It was the first 3D game for Metroid, and I'm specifically talking about the North American NTSC release. That's the most iconic buggy version of that game, because what the developers at the time did was they modeled the terrain and whatnot, and then when they applied the physics engine for, the terrain to be for it to be able to stand on the terrain, interact with the terrain and whatnot, they did this thing on accident, which is every single bit of the model terrain, no matter how small, if it sticks out, you can stand on it, and you can, interact with the environment from there. So basically, what this means is that you can do things that the developers didn't intend you to do because they didn't expect this. So you can sequence break the shit out of this game for the sole fact that the developers made a physics engine that allows you to stand on pretty much any object that's more than 2 units wide. It's fucking broken as shit. The code and the graphics...
Sounds like GTA.
Pretty much. The code and the graphics, fucking beautiful, fantastic. Sound. The physics, broken beyond all hell. There is no salvaging that game. Unfortunately, when they did remaster it for the trilogy version on the Wii, they removed pretty much all of that shit, which is pretty sad.
Yeah.
I mean, if we want to talk about remasters, I can briefly talk about the GTA trilogy remasters.
Let's
Oh, boy.
leave that.
Oh.
Let's leave that for another. Let's leave that for
They
another
were
episode.
no. I'm just gonna briefly mention it. They were released in such a horrible state.
Were they even buggier than
And-
the originals?
Yeah.
Wow.
Can we-
I mean, I bought it virtually on launch, and I could tell there was issues.
Look, this
Playable, but issues.
this podcast now hit 56 minutes now. That's
Yeah.
crazy. And what I know we'll end the podcast soon, but I just want to have some honourable mention to some consoles we've not mentioned: the PSP and the PS Vita, which was supposed to be a PlayStation sort of big thing, and it just flopped.
It flopped, yeah.
And then there's the Wii U, which
We don't talk about the Wii U.
no one really bought into it.
I only
However,
ever want a Wii U just to get Wind Waker HD. That's the only reason I ever want to get it. And Twilight Princess HD. That's it. That's the only two games I want on the Wii U.
Well, I was thinking of getting it because the controller at the time it looked revolutionary, but when you think about it, it's just kind of what the Switch is.
now that you've mentioned the Switch, and to end the episode, I will say the Wii U walked so that the Switch could fucking sprint.
And
on
Sprint
that-
did it do?
Oh, I just
What?
sorry. I just want to say before we end what is everyone's all-time favorite game before we end the podcast? Sorry, César.
Metroid Fusion.
Skyrim.
Lee.
Age of Empires 2. I
That's
just keep playing that game every time.
Matt?
Need for Speed series.
Just
No,
any,
a
any
game.
game in there?
A game!
Did game in general?
Yeah.
Hot Pursuit.
There
Okay.
we are.
Put it this way, the game I mentioned has had 2 remasters, and I've bought both.
There you go.
Burnout Paradise.
I mean, the amount of re-releases Skyrim has had, and Brandon has every single one of them.
Yes.
GTA Vice City will be a very close second.
The one reason
Right.
I don't own any Metroid Fusion remakes is because they do not exist. Nintendo, get to it. And on that note, this has been the PlebPod. We do hope that you've enjoyed. If you're watching on YouTube, do know that we're also on the audio platforms of your preference. And if you're watching in any of the audio platforms that we're on, do know that the PlebPod and all other Plebels content is on YouTube. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And that is all. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Goodbye.